That's the one thing in relationships I cannot countenance. I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
And this is Stone Temple Pilots!
Yes, Interstate Love.
Song. Interstate Love Song.
Yes, Interstate Love Song.
Anyway.
It would be really interesting if it was Interstate Love.
This song is brought to you by, is this by the, who is this? Is this a Alliance pick?
Illegally.
Is this an Alliance pick?
Oh, yes, it is. It's
Which
from
Alliance?
your Sin and Glory.
Sin and Glory! Chris Culp. Sin and Glory. Okay, so what is an Alliance? Dear listener.
Hey, how come I'm still not be... Oh, you didn't plug it in?
Dear listener, an Alliance pick came about because, as you notice in many reaction channels, you cut the song up every 20-30 seconds or so. The reason for that is because if you don't, you get this nifty message from Google that basically says, hey, your cut of the ad revenue, we're giving to the record label because the record label wants their money. Yay. So in order to avoid that, you chop it up, right? And so it doesn't alert the record label. Well, we didn't figure that out until much, much later. And when we tried to do that, our crowd was like, no way, you can't do that.
At the end of this video, there's going to be we're going to do a fundraiser. So information is at the end of the video. It involves basketball. Check it out.
So anyway, so we tried to do that. Our audience revolted and said you can't do that. So what we decided to do, based on somebody's recommendation, we started Patreon. $1 the gate gets you in. It opens up a portal for a whole bunch of different other stuff. Yeah. But the best thing is you pull your points together and that determines what song we do. If you don't want to do the Patreon route and you want to go by yourself, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You do that 3 times, you get bumped down to the $75 rate. Having said that... That's
not $1.25.
This particular...
Somebody said there's a PayPal for $1.25. I was like, oh, confusion.
Yeah, so, having said that, Stone Temple Pilots... Interstate Love Song.
Yep. Here we go.
I hope it doesn't get blocked, bro.
She's kicking him out. You evil little worm, get out! He's dying? What was that? Heart failure?
Charlie Chaplin?
Waiting
All he has left is a horrible nose. I know, it was very,
I feel like that song was way too short.
It was actually pretty chill.
I mean, it was on for 4 minutes. But why did it feel like it was like 2 minutes?
I didn't realize that what happened to him by the door.
What happened?
His nose grew. He said a lie. Right before he was like, look, he says something right before he like, he said something, blah, 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 and now his nose is growing.
Oh, so now he's all...
And that's when he took off.
Yeah, that's one thing that'll kill a relationship faster than anything, bro. It's lying, bro. Lies. Sugary lies. Damn, I feel like I don't know. I must be imagining, but I felt like that riff, that like I feel like I've heard that before.
It kept reminding me of what it felt like last night as I was falling asleep.
1994.
It had a good feel to it.
1994.
Calming.
Where was I? Florida.
I don't know.
This is killing me. I swear to God, I feel like I've heard this song before.
Oh, really?
I feel like I have, like that riff, that din, 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 and then the word promises. I don't know.
Oh, I've never heard it.
Let me know. Was this big? Was this a big song?
What year did it come out?
It was 1994, so I can't really call it. But.
Oh, that's why you said 94. I was too busy pulling up the lyrics here. Okay, for all of you haters, this computer was playing the music video, and that one was what had the lyrics. So we were paying attention. You know, people go, "Wow, oh, what's so interesting?"
Well, that was only one guy.
Yeah, I know. But sometimes they pop back up.
Stick of the channel. Waiting on a Sunday afternoon. For what I've read between the lines, your lies, feeling like a hand in rusted shame. So do you laugh or does it cry? Reply. What do you think what do you think is going on there? I have a basic
Well, I think that the person understands that the other person is not true to them, and they're sitting around waiting for the evidence of their lies to be known. Feeling like a hand in rusted shame. That part's a little bit confusing. A hand in rusted shame.
Well, if it's rusted, like there's no way to bring it back, I guess. Like it's.
Yeah, but why would you feel like a hand? Feeling like a hand?
Well, maybe it's like shame? In something. You know what I'm saying? Like you get your hand in it and it's stuck and you can't extricate yourself from it. Otherwise.
Oh yeah, because if it rusts, it seizes up and stays in there.
Right.
Okay.
You have to basically tear your hand off to get free of it. Which I'm assuming is how he's
what about the Tin Man?
Describing the breakup.
Yeah.
Like it's you know what I mean? Like
right.
Because like once you found out that the person lied to you, especially if they lied about like remain like I just don't see how you can continue the relationship at that point.
And that's funny because in my previous relationship, like I felt so ashamed for what that person did.
Right.
So
yeah.
And you're not like that. You're not like that. But I absolutely, yeah.
No, I
did. I felt like I was like embarrassed in front of the entire world because of their actions.
Because of what they did or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes, like with it depends. Like if everybody knows, and then you're just now the last one to find out, then I could see how that would apply. And it says, "Do you laugh or does it cry?" It cry.
Do you laugh or it cry?
His hand in rusted shame. Reply. And he's leaving on a southern train only yesterday. You lied. Promises of what I seem to be. Only watch the time go by. All of these things you said to me. So that was the biggest thing for me about the other relationship was just time. Like I had invested so much time into that person. So it was very, very hard to to this moment. Like I don't know because I held on for a pretty long time after the shelf life had expired. And I don't know how much of it was like devotion to the thing and, wanting to keep the marriage together balanced out with that feeling of, man, I wasted all this time on this person. So to leave would be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a big thing, but you got to kind of make those decisions. And there's people that make those decisions and they stay. Like and I think that's that's admirable to a degree, especially for dudes doing it. Girls doing it, there's safety issues and things like that that you have to factor in there.
You kept saying that it doesn't. I'm sure it's a very common feeling. I've invested all this time. That didn't come into my head, and so it's a little bit hard for me to understand that statement. For me, it's like, oh, but I have a kid with this person. That to me is like the stick point, like, oh, should I, what I mean? But as far as I've invested so much time, I feel like the invested time only makes me more angry. It doesn't make me say, oh, I've put in so much, let me just stick it out. Well, it makes me be like, I put all that time in for that? Okay, well, I'm not gonna put another 10 days into this.
Yeah. Well, yeah, especially considering homeboy, like he got worse.
Yeah.
Some aspects of it. Yeah, no, I think for me it's like from the beginning she was trying to leave. You see what I'm saying? So I was always like saving the thing. So it wasn't like, like we had this normal relationship and then I put in a bunch of time. It's like I put in a bunch of time to save this thing. This thing was on life support a bunch of times and I basically rose it from the dead. So that was where it was difficult. It was difficult to just like let it go.
So not so much the time, but all the energy and everything put in.
Yeah, the effort, because literally the thing was on life support a bunch of times, and I was just dragging it around, and that's why I'm so quick now. Like with other relationships, I'm like, okay, like I'm not doing that again. Like I'm not gonna put out that much, that much effort or energy into anybody ever in my life. So, that's one of the reasons why this is actually a pretty like a revelation I've just gotten as I'm talking. Like that's one of the main reasons. Like I don't care. One is moving around all the time, but two is like after I put in all that effort in that situation and all the energy, I probably lost like 4.5 years of my life like dealing with this person.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
And
I'm like.
And that to you was a super meaningful relationship. Like it was your wife, the mother of your children. You guys were together since high school. Like there's all this meaning that's in the relationship. And then you try like hell and like waste years of your, like expend years of your life so you'll die sooner because of it. So now it's like relationships that are not as important as that. It's like, look, I did that before.
I'm out.
This relationship is expendable. I'm not doing this.
I'm out. Yeah, I don't care. It's very, very.
I would never put you in that situation, but I don't know. Like, I think that you would do it again. Like, if I went into that mode.
Well, obviously, with you,
but,
with you, I mean,
I don't want that type of relationship.
You're not regular people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
I get it.
Obviously, like you is different, but breathing is the hardest thing to do.
That would be horrible.
With all I've said and all that's dead for you, see?
Yeah.
You lied. Goodbye.
I thought you said that. I didn't realize it was the lyrics of the song. you with all that's dead for you. You lied.
You lied.
Goodbye.
I'm out.
It's done. It's people are tired.
But see, that was the thing about Shorty, was she never lied. I think, honestly, if she would have lied and like I would have found out that she lied like on multiple occasions, I don't think I would have put in all that effort. It was how, I mean, toward the end stuff got a little bit weird as far as like, like there were a couple things I'm like, she's not really being that truthful there. That's strange. You know what I mean? But it was more like gaslighting stuff and like, that type of thing, which is funny because if you would look at me and her on the outside, you'd be like, who's the gaslighter?
Oh, I know. I know.
It'd be like, you know what I mean? But, like...
I look back at some conversations with that person, I'm like, that wasn't true.
Yeah.
That wasn't true either.
Yeah.
But it wasn't out and out lying. It was like there's... I think that sometimes people because I don't want to wait for you to fill in the dots, and I think that they assume that I'm just not going to wait to fill in the dots, so they'll just like give me like a certain points and let me fill in the rest, and then it's basically like, well, it's on you. You're the one that came up with that story, not me.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like one of those where it wasn't like completely directly set out, and you, to me, were the bad guy, so.
Yeah, and I was good with that.
So sorry.
Well, no, I was good with that. I mean, at any point, if I wanted to not be the bad guy, I would have. It wasn't that difficult.
Oh, I know.
But
yeah,
I just felt like that was unmanly, and I to this moment think it's unmanly. Like I think like, really, you're gonna let all these people, judge your wife because you're not man enough to bear the brunt of the blame? Who cares about what other outsiders think? Like that was my perspective on the situation.
I'm still with you guys. I'm putting up a video for you.
Who?
Well, because I'm looking at my computer here, so I just wanted to
I'm setting up the light
upload
here.
videos.
Yeah, so like I'm not. Yeah, it's just very, very complicated. You know what I mean? But like with yours, it was pretty simple. Like the guy was, he just, But there's lots of reasons people lie in relationships.
But I do feel like, if I was in, how sometimes people leave a relationship and then they land in another relationship. It's the same relationship. It's just a different face.
Right.
Like I think that if I was in that situation, I'd slash and burn so fast. Like I don't have
100%. 100%. No,
I think but I don't think that would have happened if I wasn't with you. You know what I'm saying? Like being with you has made me be like I'm never just like we talk a lot about like honesty and trusting people in relationships, and like we had one time we were on a live stream or something. It was either a live stream or we shot a video, and like it was either the comment section on the video or in the live stream, and we were talking about like trust in relationships, and a lot of people were saying like, why would you even be with somebody that you don't trust? Well, I thought not trusting someone was like, that's how relationships are. Nobody's gonna trust anybody. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, that's it,
Yeah.
And if you say you trust the person, you're really just saying it just for their benefit. Oh yes, I trust you.
Yeah.
So like, I keep trying to push myself toward the point like I know that I'm in a relationship where I can trust you, but trying to like get myself to just be a trusting person and then not look over your shoulder, and stuff like that. Like I don't want to be that type of person, but I think that sometimes like I literally thought all my life that that's the type of but I see what you're saying. Like looking over someone's shoulder is not going to change their overall behavior. It's only going to change what they're going to do when they're sitting with you. So you're either going to trust somebody or go all in with that person, or you say you're going to look over their shoulder all the time, in which case they're going to... Because I looked over the shoulder in my past relationship, and it didn't stop anything. Everything went on as it went on. It's just I didn't find out for a while.
Well, that's why I'm not a big look over the person's shoulder type person. Because it's like, if you're the type of person that I have to police, I shouldn't be in a relationship with you in the first place.
I agree. And it gives you a false sense of security because I'm looking over the person's shoulder. I'm like, okay, not today. It's good today.
Yeah.
But that's not true. It wasn't good that day. Well, it wasn't good the day before. I just looked over and it looked good in front of me, so I thought that it was good, Yeah,
and you have like... I just think our situation is different because we're literally around each other 24/7. Whereas homeboy, like, he left to and from work. He didn't have a regular schedule. That's the other thing. Like,
how does that?
You don't leave until the last box is done. So sometimes we had a short day, sometimes we had a long day. So there are all these gaps in time. You don't know. Let's say he got off at 10.
Oh, yeah.
He could come in at 1. You wouldn't know the difference.
I know.
So there are just all these variables that...
There was this one time...
that you guys had that we don't have.
Yes. Yeah. There was this one time I had this idea where I was going to start clocking. Like, I was going to write down his schedule. Like, okay, he said he started at this time. He said he ended at that time. And then find out what... And then I thought to myself, this is crazy. Because I've seen, like, movies of psychotic men. And, like, that's what they do. The mileage and all that stuff. Like, the clocking, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, and, like, that's where I drew the line. I'm like, I'm not doing this. Like, all that work every single week. No, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of work. So for me,
I decided I'm not going to do the work, and I'm just going to say I trust
I would never
somebody.
be in that situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
but you thought you could be in a relationship where you would trust the other person.
Oh, everybody does.
No, I just literally got done saying I didn't think that that was a thing. I thought nobody trusts anybody and everybody just lies and says that they trust. Like, I literally thought this was like a universal law in humanity. Nobody trusts anybody.
Yeah.
And if you say you trust them, it's just to make them feel better. I was in this, I had met this guy. This is really, I don't recommend this. I was 17 years old and he was 33 years old.
I, to this moment, can't believe that you're that allowed that.
I can't believe it either.
It's weird, bro.
It's very surprising to me. I'm not, I don't know. It doesn't, I don't understand that.
Continue.
But anyway, so it was literally like the second or third time that I was out with him. And he was like, he said, "Do you trust me?" And I said, "No." Because I wasn't with the bullshit. Like, I was like, nobody trusts anybody.
Yeah.
They all say that they do trust, but they really don't.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I'm
No.
gonna say, no, I don't trust you.
Yeah.
And he got really angry, and I actually thought I might die. He was very, very expressly angry with me. And then I was like, oh, you have to play the bullshit game. Like, people are not good with you not playing the bullshit game.
Yeah, and that's why I said that it's different. Like, I've known you for 10 years.
Yeah.
We've been through, whatever, hell and back in a bunch of situations. Whether it's, like, dangerous situations where people are threatening your life, which for the most part, that stuff doesn't bother me. Or legal situations where you're going up against, whatever, to, ecclesiastical situations you're going up against it. So, like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, our relationship is completely, like, so the trust that I have for you is like, you were like one of the stand-up people. Like, when our lives were getting threatened, you were right there dealing with it too. When people wanted to kill us and the media was saying all types of crazy bullshit, like, you were there. So it's different for me. Like, of course I trust you, you know what I'm saying? But that's over a decade, maybe a decade and a half to where it's 15, it's a baby. You know what I'm saying?
Like 3 when I...
So, like, it's just different. So, like, if you, like, express distrust in me, like, a lot of times I'm like, well, when I think about your upbringing, and then I think about certain situations that, happen in your family that is just nobody's ever going to talk about, and, just keep it going.
Yeah.
Like, I understand. You know what I mean? For me, I just go... But then I say to myself, well, I've been through a lot of shit too, and, well, I trust her. But that's because, like, my mindset is just a little bit different. Because being able to separate a person from, like, a group of people. Like, oh, all men are this, or all women are that. Like, I've been able to separate that. I don't think you've been able to really do that with a lot of success. Like, separate a person from the group that they belong to.
No. And did you trust your mom?
Yeah. Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Okay.
But that's a strange question.
Well, I'm not going any more with that, but...
Like, why? Like...
We'll talk about it later.
How is that...
We shall talk about
how does that relate?
later.
Why? Because you remind me of my mom?
No. I actually thought you were going to pick up where I was going with that, but we'll talk about it later. Talk about it offline.
Why?
You'll see why after.
It's whispered in my ear. Oh.
So,
Yeah,
like...
that's probably not good for you to say.
No, I'm not going to. Yeah.
But yeah, no, that...
You see what I'm saying?
But that's why I said that. I said, with you, like, I understand. Because...
Yeah.
That, and then...
Yeah.
Others...
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. But this song is kind of funny to some degree because it makes it sound so simple. You lied. Goodbye.
I know.
I'm on a southern train.
I know.
You lied to me yesterday. You're out.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was funny because, like, lyrically it was going one direction, but the video was another direction. Because the liar is the one that left.
Yeah. Yeah.
She kicked the liar out.
Right.
But in here it was the opposite.
It's a girl that was a damn liar.
Yeah.
They should have had the girl.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like.
Maybe they couldn't find a Charlie Chaplin movie where the girl had the, the Pinocchio, whatever situation.
That part was so funny. She pushed him though. She assaulted the man.
Yeah, I just think that, like, that's the one thing in relationships I can't countenance. Like, that's the one thing.
What, lying?
Yeah, like, especially if it's, like, about the relationship itself.
Yeah.
Like, that's, like, I'm out. Like that's the one thing where I'm like, that's it. Like, and I don't have a lot of, almost everything else,
Yeah, you're funny with like stuff like that, because you'll be like, sometimes we'll be having conversations and you'll like ask a question and I'm like, holy crap, why did he ask that question? Like, it's like, if a woman is obviously fat, she's obviously gained weight, and her outfit obviously looks bad, and then she asks her husband, does this outfit look good on me? But she values honesty above everything. Like, you've just put him in a situation, but she's also extremely hurt if he says it doesn't look good. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I feel like you put me in those situations where it's like, why would you ask me that question? You value honesty, but if I answer that question, that's a pretty freaking terrible thing for me to say.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Conversations that we have.
When does that happen? Even the last time?
I said it to you the next morning. I was like, I know that's a pretty terrible thing that I said last night. You were like, what? What was wrong with that? It's usually... But that conversation...
But again, like, but that's not... Yeah.
That's not
I'm talking about a lie about the relationship. Like, he found some... I'm assuming this girl found some other dude and, off she went. Like, why lie about that? Like, it's over.
Yeah.
Just like we saw in that movie, Meet Joe Black. Like, she was done with the guy.
She was.
Brad Pitt showed up and the game was over.
Well,
like, it's Brad Pitt, bro. Like, it's over. It's a wrap.
It wasn't that it was Brad Pitt.
Yeah, it was. Look, if it was.
I see.
A guy we knew with Yeah, if it was JB. Doesn't matter how charming. You know how girls are. Like,
it wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how Nephilim he was.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It wouldn't happen.
Yeah, it's Brad Pitt, man. He should have just took one good look at Brad. He's like, all right, later, shorty, we out. You know what I'm saying? That's what he should have done.
Yeah.
But I really like that movie, Meet Joe Black, though. It's a good movie. What do you get the song? I'm gonna score this one very, very high. It's a very, very good song. I feel like this is a
9.8.
I'm gonna have to give it a 10, man. I feel it's 1994, and nobody can tell me that I haven't heard that riff before. I feel like I've heard that riff before, and then that promises. I feel like I've heard it before, so it's got to be a classic. And I felt like the song was way too short, and it was 4 minutes long, but I thought it was 2 minutes. So, having said that, I'm gonna give it a 10.
There you have it. You know what we need? Some kind of a button that we push when we hit a 10, and it I don't know, shoots confetti, or it does something. Maybe some fog comes out of it, so I don't have to clean it up.
Yeah.
Something,
we'll do that.
some button. Anyway, all right.
There you are, dear listener.
Thank you. Sin and glory.
Sin and glory. Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.
Oh, I wish I had. Oh, I'll add a nose onto one of us. Okay, so I'm gonna add a nose onto you.
No, you do it because you're the one that lies all the time. And that's the one thing in relationships I cannot countenance.
Hey villagers, this is Archero, and I'm inviting you to the Village March Madness Tournament. We're doing this as a fundraiser and to get together as a community and have a little bit of fun. If you're not familiar with March Madness, it is a 64-team college basketball tournament. The teams all play in single elimination round tournament style. Final winner is going to be the national champion. There's going to be a page set up on the ESPN website where you can make your guesses who's going to win each game. And we'll have a private group set up just for our village to compete against each other and see who predicted the winners best. To participate, it only costs $1. And all of that is going to go to help other villagers who are in need right now. This is all going to be happening in mid-March. More details are coming very soon about the dates, prizes, and how to join. I'll see you guys there. Keep it metal.